The Samsung S90F and Samsung S90H are both capable of delivering the kind of OLED movie experience that makes dark scenes disappear into the room, bright highlights stand out with remarkable precision, and black bars almost vanish during nighttime viewing. The difficult part is that the newer S90H does not completely reinvent that experience, yet one upgrade can make it noticeably more cinematic in the wrong room. For movies, the foundation is extremely similar because both televisions use self-emissive OLED technology, which means individual pixels can switch off completely whenever the image requires true black. That gives both models a major advantage during space scenes, nighttime sequences, dark interiors, and movies where small bright objects appear against almost completely black backgrounds. You do not get the blooming that can surround subtitles, stars, headlights, or candles on many mini LED televisions, and that precision gives both Samsung OLEDs a strong sense of depth. If you primarily watch films at night with the room lights controlled, the S90F already delivers the core experience most people are looking for from a premium OLED. HDR performance is also strong on both models, because Samsung uses OLED HDR+ to combine those deep blacks with bright highlights and rich color. Explosions, reflections, sunlight, neon signs, and colorful visual effects can stand out without forcing darker parts of the image to become artificially bright, which is particularly effective in science fiction, animation, and visually ambitious blockbusters. Both TVs also use Samsung's NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor and 4K AI Upscaling Pro, so the older S90F is not dramatically behind when you watch lower-resolution movies or compressed streaming content. Older films and HD sources can still be cleaned up before reaching the 4K panel, while higher-quality streams retain plenty of fine detail and texture. Before choosing between them, check the current prices through the links in the description, because the discount on the S90F could completely change which television makes more sense for your movie setup. There is also one limitation that neither model fixes. Samsung still does not offer Dolby Vision. If you use Netflix, Disney+, Apple TV, or a large 4K Blu-ray collection, you may encounter plenty of Dolby Vision content that these TVs will instead display using supported HDR formats such as HDR10. For viewers who consider Dolby Vision essential, an LG or Sony OLED may make more sense regardless of which Samsung generation you choose. Motion is another area where both TVs perform well, although movies usually run at 24 frames per second, so the jump from the S90F's higher refresh gaming capabilities to the newer S90H's 165 Hz ceiling does very little for normal film viewing. In other words, I would completely ignore the refresh rate difference if movies are your main priority. The upgrade that actually matters is glare-free on the S90H. OLED produces its most impressive blacks when the room is dark, but reflections from windows and lamps can reduce that advantage during daytime movie watching or evening viewing with lights on. Samsung's glare-free treatment on the S90H is designed to reduce those distractions, allowing dark scenes to remain easier to see without constantly changing the room lighting. That is the difference I mentioned at the beginning, and it changes my recommendation depending on where you watch movies. If you have a dedicated dark room or usually watch at night with controlled lighting, I would strongly consider the Samsung S90F, especially if it receives a large discount. Its OLED blacks, HDR performance, processing, and overall cinematic presentation remain excellent, and paying substantially more for the S90H may not transform movie night enough to justify the difference. However, if your living room has windows, lamps, or other reflections that regularly appear on the screen, I would choose the Samsung S90H. Glare-free addresses a real weakness that can affect movies far more often than an increase in refresh rate, while you still retain the excellent OLED contrast and processing that made the S90F so strong. If both televisions were close in price, I would buy the Samsung S90H for movies, because it is the more versatile choice across different lighting conditions. But if the S90F is significantly cheaper, and you normally watch in a dark room, I would save the money and choose the S90F without feeling that I had sacrificed the essential OLED movie experience. If you would like to check today's price, availability, or read buyer reviews, you will find the links in the description below.